Hey everyone, in this tutorial we'll learn how to install the ROS2 Humble Hawksbill version onto Ubuntu VM. What you'll need is an Ubuntu 22.04 for ISO downloaded onto your machine, and you'll need a virtualization software to run the ISO. Once that's done, your VM will be ready and you can get started with installing the ROS2 packages onto your machine. So over here, I'm inside my Ubuntu VM and I have the ROS2 Humble documentation open, the installation page, and I have a terminal opened up here to install all of the packages. We'll be running all the commands that's written in the documentation page. So first thing is actually to set up the local. We'll set the local by running these commands. I'm copying these commands here and I'm pasting them into the terminal. This will set us the local for us. Next is to set up resources. So we will need to add the ROS2 apt repository to our system. So I'll be copying these commands here and I'll be pasting them into the terminal and running them. Now we will be adding the ROS2 GPG key with apt. So I'll be copying these commands here and I'll be pasting them into the terminal. Next is adding the repository to your sources list. So I'll be copying these commands here and pasting them. Now once this is done, we'll be installing the ROS2 packages. For that, we'll have to update our apt repository caches by running the command sudo apt update. Next, we'll be running the sudo apt upgrade command to make sure that our system is ready for installing new ROS2 packages. So I'll be pasting this command as well into the terminal. Now we've come to the main part. I will be installing the desktop version of ROS2. This is recommended if you want to run ROS, RViz, demos, and other tutorials. If you do not want those, you can also go with the bare bones version, but I'll be going with the ROS Humble desktop version. Pasting this also into the terminal. This is going to take a few minutes to install. Once that's done, we'll be going further with the next command. The next would be installing the development tools. So I'll be copying this command here and pasting it here. Next is to set up the environment. We have to run this command every time you want to run a new project or you want to run a ROS2 project. So make sure that you always use the source command here, the source /opd/ros humble/setup.bash. This will be used for any project that you're building and running that project in ROS2. So I'll be copying this and I'll be setting up this over here. I've pasted the command in the terminal. So now that a source has been set up, our environment has been set up, I'll be trying these two examples, the talker and the listener. So the talker is basically a talker file which is posting messages, and the listener is going to listen to the messages that's published by the talker. So as you can see here, in one terminal, I have actually pasted the talker file command, and in the second terminal, I've pasted the listener command. We'll be running these two files and see how it works. As you can see, the talker file is actually publishing the messages hello world, and the listener file is listening to these messages. So this shows that you can now run ROS2 Humble Hawksbill onto your machine. This is the way to install ROS2 Humble. Now if you want to uninstall ROS2, what you can do is run this command and this will uninstall the packages. And if you want to remove the repository, you will need to run the following commands. I've put the documentation in the description below. Feel free to check out those links. Thanks for watching.